بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد، حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وصحابته المنتجبين. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Most of us migrated to the West for various reasons, but to spread the message of Islam was most likely not one of them. Some of us migrated to the West, here Canada, or the United States, or the United Kingdom, or Europe at large, New Zealand, Australia, the Southern Hemisphere. We either migrated for political reasons, due to political persecution in our countries back home. For example, how many people fled Iraq due to the oppression of the Ba'ath Party and Saddam Hussein? And other parts in our region, many people fled due to political reasons. Others moved to the West for economic and financial reasons, due to lack of jobs, due to poor economies back home. Many people did not find jobs and did not have business opportunities and economic opportunities, so they migrated to the West for economic opportunities. Others came for an education, to seek an education. Because when you see the universities back home, they're probably part of the worst around the world. And in the West, you have the best universities. So there are some that came for educational purposes. Some came for politics, due to politics. Some came for economic purposes. Others came for educational purposes. Very few, seldom, you will find that some came for religious purposes, to spread the message of Islam or to serve Islam. Very few. There are some who came to the West, who came to Canada and the US and the UK and Europe, and they lost their faith. They gained what they came for. They ran away from political persecution. Here there's no political persecution. They came for economic prosperity. They became economically well off. They came to receive an education. They received their education. They received what they wanted, but they lost something. They lost something very valuable. That is their faith, their Islam, their Iman. If it's not them, their children, their grandchildren, they lost their faith. They lost their religion. And there are others who remained faithful and remained religious. So what do we do now? Those who came for political reasons, they found a political sanctuary. They wanted economic prosperity, they found economic prosperity. They wanted an education, they found it, but they lost their faith. Or their children lost their faith. What do we do now? What's the solution? What's the answer? If we want to remain religious, and we want our children to remain religious, we want to preserve the faith of ourselves and our religion and our children, we must act. We must be active. We must participate. We must take initiative. We don't wait for others to work. There are some people that are lazy. They don't take initiative. If someone else wants to do the work, they're more than happy to give room for others. Someone starts an Islamic school. They don't take the initiative. They wait for someone else to start an Islamic school. They wait for someone else to establish a mosque or a center or a cemetery or anything. They don't take the initiative. They don't start because they're lazy. Well, if you want to be lazy, you will lose your children. How many moved to the West and then they lost their children? Their daughters took off their hijab, or their children went astray. They went towards drugs. They stopped praying. Hasn't this happened? How many families do we know that this happened to them? So what do? We wait for us to lose our faith and our children to lose their faith? No. We have to act. We have to work. Coming to the majalis of Abu Abdullah is something very important, but it's not enough. Coming to a Saturday school or Sunday school is something important, but it's not enough. There has to be more activism. We have to be more active in our community. We have to work for Islam in this community and in this country. We might not have come to this country with that intention, but we can switch the intention. We can switch the intention. We came for political reasons or economic reasons or for educational reasons, but now that we stay, let's stay for a religious reason. Now that we're here, let's work for Islam. For two main reasons. One, for the sake of our families and children and ourselves, and two, for the sake of Islam. For the sake of Islam, this beautiful religion that was given to us from our parents, and our parents received this religion from their parents, this gift that we received from generation to generation. Let's preserve it. Let's protect it. And let's pass it on to our children the same way we received it from our parents. Coming to the West, my dear friends, was an opportunity. This opportunity was not given to everyone. How many relatives and cousins and friends do we have back home that wish to have the opportunity that we have? That wish to carry the passport that we carry? Allah gave us this opportunity, and they didn't receive this opportunity. This is a gift. This is a ni'mah. And every ni'mah we will be asked upon on the Day of Judgment. How did we use it? We only used it to make ourselves wealthy and increase our bank accounts, serve ourselves and our children. That's it? Or did we make use of this opportunity to serve Allah's religion, to spread Islam, and to protect Islam, and to enhance the image of Islam? We'll be asked. We'll be asked on the Day of Judgment regarding this opportunity that we had. There are three major issues that are facing us. Today, we as Muslims in the West, there are three major issues that face us. Number one is the distorted image of Islam. Because of terrorist groups like ISIS and like Al-Qaeda and like Boko Haram in Nigeria and like Al-Shabaab in Nigeria and other terrorist groups in the Philippines, the image of Islam has been distorted. Some people in the West, Westerners, when they hear the name of Islam, they're frightened, they're scared. Because the image that they have of Islam is bodies without heads, women taken as slaves, the bombings of churches and synagogues, and so on and so forth. The name of Islam has been ruined. This is an obstacle that we face. Christianity does not have this problem. Judaism does not have this problem. But Islam has this problem. The name of Islam has been ruined thanks to the negative media coverage of Islam, and thanks to terrorist groups like ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and others. This is one. Two, another major problem that we face as Muslims is the rise of rightist conservative movements. In the US, Islamophobia is on the rise. Here in Canada, in Europe, there's something called Islamophobia, the fear of Islam. And there are certain political activists, there are specific politicians that have an agenda. They have an agenda to scare people of Islam, to tell them that Muslims are a danger. We should not accept them to our countries. We should stop the migration. US is for Americans, Canada is for Canadians, Europe is for Europeans. Muslims are not welcome. This is a movement. There are extreme voices, rightist, conservative voices in the UK, in Canada, in America, in Holland, in Europe, all across. And they want to ban Muslims. In some parts of the world, they've banned the niqab. In some parts, they've banned the hijab. In France, women cannot go to public schools with hijab. You cannot go to public places with hijab. And slowly they want to ban Muslim presence. This is an obstacle that is facing us. What do we do? Do we just stay quiet? We put our hands on our cheeks and we say, La ilaha illallah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. This is it? This is all we can offer? To say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah? And three, the third obstacle that we are facing, we are losing our youth. Some of our youth. Alhamdulillah, we have some good youth. We have religious youth. I testify to this. We have youth in the Muslim world that are more religious than some youth in Karbala and Najaf. I've witnessed such youth. In their hijab, and their salah, and they pray salat al-layl, they come for ziyarah, they go to hajj and umrah. But at the same time, we have other youth that we've lost. That we've lost to drugs, to alcohol, to promiscuity. What do we do for these youth? How do we get them back? My dear friends, Islam encourages us and invites us to work, to be active, not to sit lazy, not to complain, but to be active, to translate our complaints into action. We have a beautiful religion. But today this religion has been distorted. Its image is ruined. It's like a beautiful painting. A beautiful painting. Someone comes and scribbles all over the painting. What do? You have to come and fix the painting. You have to come and bring back its beautiful image. Otherwise, it becomes ruined forever. Islam invites us to work. وَقُلْ اعْمَلُوا فَسَيَرَى اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ وَرَسُولُهُ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. Today when we work for Islam, this is a jihad. Jihad is not just in the battlefield. Jihad is when I work for Islam, when I invite people to Islam, when I enhance the image of Islam. When I work for the youth and I bring them back to Islam, this is my jihad and this is your jihad. Jihad is not just holding a rifle or a gun or a sword in the battlefield. Jihad is relative. How you serve Islam, where you serve Islam, that is your jihad. There has been excellent work in the West. There has been lots of good experiences here in the West. In the United States, in Canada, in Europe, in the UK, in Germany, in Holland. We have members in the community that have done great service for Islam. But is that enough? Should we say what has been done is enough and we sit back and relax? No. We continue their job. We continue the journey of the service to Islam through Islamic activism. We are here to stay, my dear friends. Most of you, most of us, most of the members of the Islamic community in the West, they are here to stay. Canada is your home. You don't plan on going back. The United States is your home. The UK is our home. The West is now our home. We are Canadians. We are Americans. We are British. We are German. We don't want to go back. If we plan on staying, then we have to make sure that the next generation, the second and the third and the fourth generation of our children, they remain Muslim, pious Muslim, good Muslims. As long as if we've made these countries our homes, let's work for Islam. Let's make sure that our grandchildren also attend these majalis the same way that my father and my grandfather used to bring me to these majalis, the majalis of Imam Hussein. Can you ensure that your grandchildren will also come to the majalis of Abu Abdullah? If you're not sure, then you have to work. You don't say, well, inshallah, I'll say a dua and that's it. No. Dua is not enough. Actions. We need deeds. We need actions. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when he saw Yazid come to power, he could have said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Khalas. We have a person without credentials that has come to power to sit on the minbar of Rasulullah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Could he have done that? Yes, he could have. There were others who did, like Abdullah ibn Umar, like Ibn Zubayr, and others who were in Medina. They were respected scholars from the Tabi'een and from the Sahaba. They sat and they said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. But who made a difference? Whose name remained till today and who became forgotten? Imam Hussein did not say, oh well. And he said, La hawla wa la quwwata. No. He sacrificed himself and his family for the sake of Islam. Today, Imam Hussein not only wants our tears are good, but he also wants what from us? Actions. Actions. Crying for Imam Hussein, but not doing anything for Islam. Imam Hussein doesn't want this from us. Imam Hussein does not want lazy followers. Those who only cry for him and beat their chest, but don't give anything back in return. Imam Hussein says, إِنَّمَا خَرَجْتُ لِطَلَبِ الْإِصْلَاحِ فِي أُمَّتِ جَدِّي. Imam Hussein wanted to change, wanted to reform, he wanted to be active. Let's learn from him. And the next 10 nights, my dear brothers and sisters, we will talk about Islamic activism in the West. And I will address what I feel is essential for the survival of Islam and for the interests of Muslims in these countries. We will discuss the following topics, and then in the coming 9 nights, we will talk about Islam and interfaith dialogue. This is very important. To have a dialogue with Christians and Jews and other members of other religions. 2, Islam and intrafaith. There's interfaith and there's intrafaith dialogue. Intrafaith dialogue is Sunni Shi'i dialogue. This is very important. 3, Islam and political work. 4, Islam and academia. 5, Islam and the media. What do we do with the media? What do we do with academia? 6, Islam and charity work. 7, Islam and business. We need Muslim businessmen. This is what Islam needs today. One of the things that Islam needs is Muslim businessmen. Number 8, Islam and medicine. And number 9, promoting Imam Hussein in the West. If Allah gives us life for the next 10 nights and gives us the tawfiq, we will address these topics, inshaAllah. Wa akhiru da'wana an alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi at-tahirin.